Hi, today I want to build a sketchbook because I filled up, I don't know if you're going to see these, filled up my most recent sketchbook. And I used to have the problem that I would have maybe a dozen pages left over at the end of a sketchbook before I would get tired of it. But I have gone all the way to the last page on this sketchbook, and it is chock full. For a while I've been using this style. This is called the Japanese stab binding. I like the way that it lays out nicely on the table, but these long pages kind of sag down a little bit. I'm going to switch it up. Instead of doing the stab binding, I'm going to go back to this style that I've also really enjoyed. I've only seen these for sale one time, and when I saw it, I bought it. This a ton of space. This is a nice big book to be using. So here's a book that I've made in the past based on this Moleskine format. Got my pocket here with reference material. Bookmark I made of a piece of fabric. This is called end paper. It glues the hardcover to the pages. The pages, you can see, are really just sections of folded paper, and each section is known as a signature. So you can kind of see here, here's a signature, and here's another one, and here's another one. And then distinctly you can see the red end papers on this. And those are glued between the signatures and the hardcover. In this cross section you can also kind of see what's inside the cover. There's cardboard that's covered with paper, and because of the wear and tear you can kind of see that paper hinge is wearing away. And I've got my supplies out here. This is a normal pad of drawing paper, kind of off-white drawing paper. We're going to use the pages and the hard back. This will become our cover stock. Our cover material will come from the back of this. We'll slice this off, and it'll be the perfect size. I want to take these pages, fold them in half for my signatures, and that's going to be the size of our book, which will naturally correspond real well with the cardboard. We'll have to be kind of precise though. I also have a ruler here. This is both for measuring and for drawing and cutting straight lines. Those lines can be cut with a knife or scissors. We'll make our marks with a pencil. You can glue with different kinds of glue. This is obviously readily available. We see Elmer's glue all a lot, and it does a fine job. A more archival option is known as Yes Paste. Note that it says acid-free, so this is going to do a better job decades from now. This is a bone folder. It's actually made of bone, and it has kind of a tapered tip. It's sort of like a dull knife shape, and this is useful for folding, creasing, spreading glue. But very few people have one of those. A lot of you have one of these, and a student ID will do a fine job of a lot of those tasks. I've got some clamps here. This is going to help us hold paper while we're manipulating. It kind of gives us more hands. There's different options for ways that you clamp. You can use what is available for you. I've got an old lanyard here. This will make a nice bookmark that will glue in. That could be a piece of ribbon, string, or an old lanyard. I've got a big spool of heavy-duty thread here. This is somewhere between yarn and thread. Here's more traditional thread that we're used to. This will work just fine, but I recommend doubling it up for strength because this will snap if you pull too hard. I've got a kind of a thick needle here. This is a darning needle. It's got a nice big target there for threading the needle through. And if that gets hard to push through the paper, you can use a thimble or something else to protect your finger so you don't hurt yourself. And I've got a section of plain canvas here, and really anything will work. You could use paper. This is going to be used to wrap around the cover, to cover the cover. So we're going to be using this cardboard wrapped in something. In my case, I'm using canvas. You could use some kind of a heavy paper or some other fabric. Note that I've got this larger than the whole area that I'm going to be using. So this, I know, I'm confident, this will be enough fabric. It will cover the cardboard. Okay, let's get started. Well, there you have it. A nice, large, hardbound sketchbook with end papers, drawing paper, a bookmark built in to keep your spot, and an optional folder to tuck stuff into. Remember that you can substitute materials here. You can use different materials to cover the cover. You can choose your end papers. You can use different kinds of drawing paper. You can even mix and match in your book. It doesn't have to all be the same paper. And these schnivelly bits here at the end, I'll peel off later. That'll keep me busy while I'm trying to think of what to draw. Thanks, and good luck with your sketchbook.